As soon as I went out and I got the package for it, I could feel energy coming from my mailbox. Welcome back to another Vibes and Frequencies video. My name's Nathan, and if you happen to be new to my channel here, I talk about powerful tools of transformation, which to me, that ends up being crystals. And in this case, today's crystal energy video is about a crystal called Saffordite, okay? Now, this is really interesting and unique in the energy that it's been promoting for me and what I've been experiencing. So without further ado, I'm gonna hop right into it. I'll let you guys know I've been working with it for about a month now. And if you like this video, if you're excited about Saffordite, don't forget to drop a thumbs up and a comment below. That way I know you guys are super excited about it, and I'll make sure to make my top 10, crystal benefit type videos that I know that you guys, well, they tend to be my most popular videos, but anyways, let's get into it. So, first things first, in terms of the energy that I felt with Saffordite, is as soon as I went out and I got the package for it, I could feel energy coming from my mailbox. And this is literally the first time that this has ever happened to me. This isn't like every single time I feel that. And I really felt this intense kind of sense of pressure building up. And as soon as I opened the package and I brought this out of it, I was just completely jaw-dropped and kind of just frozen in this strange kind of energetic field that, like I said, I have not felt from another before. So the way that I would explain the main thing that I feel from Saffordite, because I know you guys know that I explain things a little bit strangely, so I'll explain it in my normal strange way. Metaphorically speaking, I feel like I am a pressure pot. Okay, like when you're cooking a pressure pot and the water's heating up and it's about to blow. That's how I feel, but I feel like an inside-out pressure pot, if that makes sense. So rather than all this energy building up inside of me and about to explode and push this force outward, what it actually feels like to me is like there's this pressure and this force in my reality outside around me, like this almost like energetic force field, and it's sucking this energy inward, and the pressure's coming from out, not inside. So I know that that sounds kind of strange, but that's the best way that I would explain that. I feel like I just got really wet. I feel like a pressure pot that's about to explode. This progressed over the days as I continued to go on my walks and work with it. And I feel crystal energy the most when I hold it in the palm of my hand like this, and I find myself going on strolls with it. So that's what I was doing. And as I would be walking, I would still continuously feel this pressure building up around me. And what I believe that this pressure is now is not a pressure of resistance that's building up in my energetic dimension of that force field. What it feels like to me is, in essence, almost like it's transmuting light, right? Because everything is light and everything is vibration. And I know you guys click with me on that. So it seems like it's almost transmuting this light and this vibration into a physical sensation that can be felt coming inward to me. So what I believe this Saffordite is doing is it is bringing light into my body, which seems to click with some of the things that I've read about it too, about what other people have said. So of course my experience is slightly different with that in terms of what I've been feeling, but it does really line up for me, just my own kind of unique way of interpreting it. Now, another thing that I read, actually, that I looked up online, I did some research, of course, because when I get really excited about them, then I tend to look it up, right? So I looked it up, and they actually have, I'll link it in the description below, this person wrote an article about creating a grid in this dimension of reality using Saffordite for what we know as light workers and starseeds. So they talk about how it is bringing this light into us, right? And because we're all bringing this light into us and we're light workers and we're here to be holding light for other people and we're doing this kind of work, right? What they're talking about is that by bringing a Saffordite into your life, if you're a light worker and if you're a starseed, which I believe if you're part of this channel here and you're a subscriber, then you probably are, whether you are aware of that or not. They're saying that as a light worker, if I have a piece of Saffordite and you're a light worker and you have a piece of Saffordite and then this person over here has a piece and then this person, we are creating basically a light grid, a grid of light for us light workers. And that's kind of what we're doing in the physical dimension of being a light worker in the first place. and it's kind of why a lot of us feel alone and end up in different parts of the world and don't really have people who are similar to us where we are, because we're meant to be spread out to, in a sense, create this grid to help heal the planet and raise the vibration. If we were all in one specific town, that wouldn't be very helpful for the planet and for, humanity as a whole. So, anyways, the next thing that is super important that I want to communicate to you about my experience with Saffordite is the main benefit that I have been experiencing in terms of what you could explain as a benefit, right? So it's cool to talk about this inside-out pressure pot, this sensation of energy building up around me and kind of popping, but it will be more exciting for you, I'm sure, for me to actually tell you, like, what is the literal benefit here. Now, there are many, and like I said, I am looking forward to hopefully making a full-on video about this, so don't forget to like and let me know below if you want to see that. But what it's doing for me the most is increasing my intuition, okay? It's almost like my inner voice has a greater strength and more light involved with it. Now, this differentiates itself from things like Moldavite, right? And when I say things like Moldavite, I'm saying because obviously Moldavite increases our intuition, but all of these different energies are coming into our life and manifesting themselves in a different aspect of like our energy field and this like plane of energy that we're existing in. So these different layers, right? The layer of Saffordite comes from trusting the intuition. So, for example, as working with Moldavite, I feel an incredible increase in my intuition, and I feel it as sensations. With Moldavite, I feel it as this kind of electrical buzzing sensation. I've described it in videos before about how we can use this feeling of this buzzing and this giddy laughter to figure out when we are on the correct path, right? Correct path. The path that is in alignment with us, which our intuition would be what leads us to discover and exist in this path, right? Saffordite is different. Saffordite's energy is really cool because it more so feels like the intuition I already have and the intuition that I'm gaining from my work with Moldavite, it's just able to be trusted. So I could feel this inner voice telling me to walk forwards, right? But I might still stand here because of my past experience in life and things that may have happened to me as a child or whatever, right? You guys know the story here. All these different things, I might stand here and say, I can feel my intuition telling me and hearing this voice to walk in this direction and make this change in my life, but I don't trust the universe. I don't trust that I'm going to be successful in that, right? So I'm afraid, I'm holding on to this fear. I don't trust my intuition. I have intuition, but I don't trust it. Saffordite deletes the part of this that says, I don't trust it. You will trust your intuition. It's almost like this strange kind of magnetic force where you just find yourself following your intuition. So I guess I would explain it not as feeling like this feeling of increasing my actual intuition, but just increasing my will to experience my intuition as a fact of my reality, rather than just this layer on top that I can peek through when I feel like it, right? So it kind of makes my intuition following skills not only functional when I'm consciously trying to use them, but it also seems to have altered my subconscious use and following of my intuition and kind of impregnated itself in that kind of vibrational DNA part of my life. So that's the number one thing that I feel. And this seems to manifest itself for me as thinking less. And it's kind of the anxious thinking that I'm talking about here. So when it comes to Saffordite, it comes to this kind of narration that's constantly happening in our minds and this kind of anxious thinking, these kinds of things. I talk about this a lot with other crystals as well, but again, this is coming from a different kind of dimension of this. And the dimension that Saffordite is coming at this effect from is from this almost meditative state. And when I say almost, it really is a state that I have found myself having had reached after like a 30-minute meditation session, before finding myself working with Saffordite. And it's a very identical feeling where it's like you are so zen that at this point, like, kids could be outside the window and screaming and it won't bother you or interrupt your meditation. You're still gonna feel zen. Maybe in the beginning of the meditation, you need peace and you need quiet and you need this kind of stable zone so that you can allow yourself to relax and get into this mindset. But bringing Saffordite into your life takes you straight to the part of this meditative state where you don't care about the screaming kids outside, all right? You don't necessarily care, but it doesn't come from this I don't care standpoint. It just comes from a standpoint of my energy is not going towards caring when I'm with my Saffordite. It doesn't go towards caring. It goes from trusting and existing in my intuition, which for me today was making this video while walking on the beach. So I'm doing it and not allowing these other kinds of energies outside of me that maybe I would normally distract myself with, like anxiously worrying about the fact that perhaps the water's going to be too loud and the audio will be ruined, or worrying that the lighting isn't right because it's not the right, hour of the sunset. These kinds of things, believe it or not, are normally what I find myself thinking about when I'm following a path of making a video. So I'm finding this meditative state when I'm with my Saffordite where it doesn't matter, because you just trust the intuition. You trust the path that you're on, and when you're on a path that is not trustable, you will just shift and find yourself in the exact path of light that you are meant to be experiencing in this moment. So that's the way that the intuition kind of feels. Now, ultimately, I find, in my own personal opinion, and I have read online to see other people's opinions, and I'm going to be expressing mine because, well, this is my video. My opinion is that I feel mainly crown chakra type stimulation from Saffordite, but it's not like other crown chakra type energy I felt where it's this really open eyes, like, for example, I'll relate it to like phenakite, right? Where phenakite is this really intense, awake, higher self connection. It's not like this, at least for me. I feel this crown chakra stimulation, but it comes again more from feeling the sense of pulling energy in and light. Okay, so I don't really feel necessarily, in my own personal opinion, like I said, an increase in connection to my higher self. But I think that you could say that there is an increase in this connection because you don't necessarily need to perceive of something if you are just trusting it and following it, if that makes sense right there. So not a perceptually higher attachment to our higher self, but physically you'll find yourself acting from this higher crown chakra type plane of existence with it, right? So I know I explain things kind of weird, guys, but there you have it. Now, I also, secondary to this, while it is mainly for me in the crown chakra stimulation area and that kind of energy, I do mainly find myself feeling the energy also at the same time in a very grounding kind of way. And again, I think it's because it's bringing light into my body. That's how it feels to me. It feels like it's grounding it immediately, but not necessarily with other crystal energies I've worked with where it seems like it's creating this kind of balancing act where it's like balancing your chakras and these type of things. It feels more like it's just stimulating both the crown and the root chakra at the same time. So I hope that makes sense. I think that's all I have to say about Saffordite for now. So like I said, definitely make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Definitely make sure to drop that comment. Let me know if you've worked with Saffordite. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you felt. We always can learn from each other, and to be honest, I learned more from you guys than you could possibly know. So thank you guys for being a part of this awesome crystal community. This being said, thank you so much for watching this Vibes and Frequencies video. I would also appreciate it if you let me know if the sound really was horrible, and I will make sure not to do this again. I thought it would be cool. Anyways, have an awesome rest of your day, guys. Signing off. Bye. Until next time. So, see you later. Not bye. Okay, bye. Wait.